Welcome back to We News. It's our Mother's Day special, and we have such a special, wonderful guest with us. It's Nisha Shah, daughter of world famous, influential Indian singers Babla and Kanchan. And Nisha, thank you for joining us. I'm sure you have a million stories, but what was life like growing up having a mother like Kanchan?
Okay, first of all, thank you very much for bringing me up here. And I'm glad that I'm speaking to you. And okay, growing up as Kanchan's daughter, it's was not a big deal for me because she was my mother.
Yeah,
And
it wasn't important. You know, it's like, oh, that's just my mom.
that's what so she was like a normal mom, just kicking me if I don't get up early in the morning and study and don't learn singing, don't practice, no nothing. She was so regular. Cooking was very important, so that was the utmost important thing. I should know how to cook and that kind of stuff. Singing is all later. First, you being an Indian child, you need to cook first. So
Oh,
that kind. And it was definitely a great thing. And she was my mom. She used to teach me little small things in singing and bragas and everything, every sort of small things. So that's how it went with her always.
was there a time, because when did you realize mom is not just mom, but she is adored by all these people around the world? When did it hit you that mom is mom is not just mom, mom is like a big thing?
Okay. Okay. This went when I was 7 years old, and I remember we had a show in Barbados, and I remember we were on a rally. We were on like one kind of rally with mom, dad, and me, and there were like around 50,000 people just wanting to have a signature. And I was like, "What the hell is happening? What is this? What is going on?" Like, so they were like, "Mummy," like in our language, it was like, "Mummy, tu kai karte hai? Say kai hai? This is what is true." I'm sure you're not knowing what I'm saying, but that was like, what is this and what are you doing and why are you doing so much of signatures for all of them? And he's like, because they're asking me to do this, and this is how it went. And that's when I realized that this is too big. This is just not small, and this is too big.
The
So that
same
was
woman who wakes me up every morning and makes me do my chores, you will think that she is a big deal. And it's always interesting to hear the children of artists and celebrities talk about at home, dad washes the car, mom
yeah.
cooks dinner, and you have chores to do. And if you don't do your chores, you could get grounded. And then people around you go, oh my goodness, do you know who your mother is? And you go, yeah, my mother, she cooks, she irons. She's not that great at washing clothes sometimes, but and you to
That's,
marry the
that's
two.
right. That's right. I totally agree with this. I totally agree with
What do you think is one of the most memorable pieces of advice she's ever given you?
Okay, one thing which is I'm like I've been growing listening to all the time, and this is what she nagged me all the time about, is just keep your foot on the ground. You don't have, no matter how much you grow, how much you grow wealthy, no matter what happens in your life, big, small, everything, always keep your foot on the ground. That is the biggest thing which she always told me, and that's what I do follow, even my brother. So that's not advice. This is like guru mantra forever. That's
Yeah. The other day, in getting ready to meet you, I wasn't listening to something. I was at work, and I'm going to do a horrible job of it now, but I started singing this song that I remember hearing her, and I was like, "Up the Sequoia, sing the DJ." And a guy says to me, "You sing that?" And I said, "It's all I know." I remembered that song, and he says, "How do you know that song?" And he said, because he's Muslim, and he goes, "I'm going to ask my mother about this because you are singing that song almost perfectly." And I said, that's the first song I heard from her. And
Okay.
I remember loving it. And then there are so many incarnations of it now. And only looking back did I realize, because they came to Trinidad frequently,
Yes, yes. It
you
was
know,
like a second home to them. Yeah.
and I
Exactly.
remember hearing Babla and Kanchan all the time, thinking this is
Yes.
so nice, not knowing it was just preparing me for this wonderful moment with you to be able to say, not just knowing about them, and like, I know the music a little bit too, you know. But it's a wonderful thing to be able to look back on the legacy that someone like her has left you. How do you think that informs your parenting?
In form of parenting, it was not that difficult, and from both of them, it was like always very easygoing and just being like a normal parent all the time. And that's how we've like we just brought up, me and my brother both. So that's how it is.
some of the mischief you got up to that you never confessed to before? You could tell me. Nobody will know. You
Okay,
could tell me.
what? Okay, you know what? I was like, I think I was in New York. I was in New York again. And this was like when I was in what? I was in college times, and I just had a glass of beer. And that is
Oh,
so big in India. I would have been chopped into pieces for this. and and she's like, you are stinking. Like, I said, there's nothing at all. It's just, I don't know, something must have gone wrong. And I never ever confessed this, that I had a glass of beer. Never. That is the
did you
big
tell your
thing.
brother? So you never told your brother either?
No. No.
I'll try to make sure that nobody who knows you
You
sees
need to
this.
mute this. You need to mute this. It's gonna go on national television in Trinidad. You need to mute this.
But it's funny how you look back on the things that you think you could have hidden from your mom. And then when you're talking later on, now that you're an adult, and you go, well, you know, when I was younger, so and so, and your mom always says, I know. And you go, how did you know that? I never said anything. And your mother says, I know.
Because I'm your mom at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is very important.
So
Yeah.
how are you figuring out with your own children? I know when they're not telling me everything.
Yeah, she's giving me a tough time these days in the lockdown. I just have one daughter, and she's giving me trouble of like 12 children almost.
How
She's
old is
like,
she now?
she is 12 right now, and then she's just behind me for small things, and she's giving me a tough time these days.
You know, it's going to happen. And then when she gets older and she thinks she's an adult, you know, my mom says to me, you will always be 7. I was like, Mom,
Exactly.
I'm an adult now. Like, nope. In my mind, you will always be 7. And I go,
Yeah.
we in for some bumpy roads. But as a mom, you become so. To me, it's intuitive. To me, mothers know everything.
Yes.
And what they don't know, they find out.
They need to find it out. Yeah. You're so right. You're speaking like a second mother, man.
You know, to be able to stay on top of things, they know. And we think we are so smart when when we hide things. We think we are so smart. And we had a Christmas episode, and I said to one of our guests, I said, you know, during Christmas in Trinidad, you know, that fruit cake that we have, my mother would make the cakes and she would say, you need to wait. And I would say, okay. And you're walking by and you're smelling this thing. And I go, no, this is not right. So I used to cut from one end to the next. So I would cut the slice across and push the cake together. But here's the thing. One slice was never enough. So you cut again and you push the cake together. And you think you're so bright. You think, you know what? I am a genius.
Oh, yeah.
And your mother looks at you and goes, look at the cake pan. Look at the sizes of these cakes.
True.
I said, well, maybe you ran out of flour for that one. And they go, yes, but there's a slice in the cake. And I go, must have been one of the others. But I couldn't keep a straight face. I said, must have been one of the others. And I turn around and I walk away. And you're going, oh my gosh, I've got away with that one. You didn't get away with anything.
Okay, this happens in all the houses. Like, same story, same, like, goes on. Everywhere.
What was your brother like in terms of behaving well when your mom was around?
No, she was very easygoing with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And because he was born after 7 years after me. So he was like a spoiled brat again.
He
And
practiced with
everything
you,
was
so
every day. Like today, if there's a new phone launched, he's gonna have the next minute in his hand. This is how he was. So it was very easy for him. You know, the first child is always gets
oh gosh.
all the possible rubbish in them. First child.
They practice on you. They practice with you because I look at my younger siblings and I go,
Yeah.
how come they get to do that? And how come they get to do that? I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. But people say the first child tires out the parents. And by the time the others come along, they're like, we're too tired. We can't be bothered.
Do what you want. Do what you want. The first child gets all the possible problems. They have to face everything. They're being strict, parents being strict to the core. But the second child is so relaxed in their
Yeah,
life. They have the best.
yeah,
So that's how we caught up. Very easy.
Nisha, what advice do you have for young and up and coming mothers in terms of women now going into their first foray of motherhood?
Okay, I would always suggest the young mothers or the young generation as well that don't try to be very strict with your children, because that's how what is happening more in India. People here, they think being strict, keeping their kids, in their hole is going to really make them, they're going to go in a proper position in their life. But
Hmm.
that's not true. You have to be very, very flexible with children. You have to be friendly, especially the woman. They really have to be friendly with their daughters or their son, or however, whatsoever kids. But I would really suggest them that, don't be strict with your kids, and just make them feel like a friend, and just be flexible with them. That's the big thing I just want to tell everyone.
Wow, Nisha, thank you so very much. And thank you for taking the time here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy
Thank
Mother's
you.
Day. Happy
Wish you the
Mother's
same.
Day to everyone watching this. We thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of everyone here at We News, I'd like to say thank you. And to the mothers in Trinidad and Tobago, and to my mom, because if I don't give her a greeting, that's a mistake. Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. I love you. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Stay safe.
All right, thank you very much for bringing me here, and happy Mother's Day to everyone. Bye bye.